I'm Sylvain Baude, Chief Investment Officer at Namara Wealth Asset Management. We operate two verticals, liquid assets and illiquid assets, mostly through sourcing and financing deal in Singapore. And we have an exciting news. We are bringing on-chain those two verticals through our new tokenization platform called Laplace.digital. Tokenization is a disruptive technology, as was the electronification of trading back in the 90s, 80s. And we think that it's inevitable that tokenization will be the third revolution in terms of trading financial assets. And so at Namara, we wanted to be at the forefront of this evolution and to be ahead of our time. And so 2 years ago, we started to develop our own tokenization platform to be able to bring on-chain financial products, mostly in the first stage, yielding products such as money market fund, but also trade finance, invoicing, and private lending products. In terms of regulation, is a very good question. There's a lot of uncertainty on how tokenization securities will be classified or regulated. So we take the regulation very seriously. And so at the moment, we make sure that we comply with all MAS regulation. We only sell our products to accredited investors and through debt form and not through securitized form. First answer is that we will help investors solve structural limitation that they faced for decades. One example will be the accessibility of financial products that are usually reserved to high net worth individual or big institution like private lending, private debt, we mentioned it before, and also the ability of fractionalized an assets that can trade in a very high nominal amount that suddenly can be fractionalized and trade in very small amounts. So accessibility, transparency, and liquidity. Investor will benefit from this tokenization because, as I said, they can access products that they were not able to access, but also companies that don't have access to capital from banks or a distribution channel to access liquidity, they will now be able to face a liquidity pool from those investors and will be able to market their product much more efficiently. So I think going forward, the liquidity will improve for those companies that today don't necessarily have access to capital from banks and other channels. In terms of portfolio allocation, I would say that first, the fractionalization will allow investors that access area of the market, segment of the market that they were not able to access, and that can be very lucrative in terms of yield, particularly as we are in Singapore, trading hub, trade finance comes to mind. Also, invoicing, and private credit, and also some real world assets like real estate, for example. So by fractionalizing those assets, investors that have relatively small amount compared to pension fund to invest will be able to integrate this different segment of the market in their portfolio and thus improving diversification. So not only you improve liquidity for those assets, but also you improve diversification and access for various host of clients. In terms of challenges, I'll think of two challenges. The first one is obviously regulation. So regulation at the moment varies across jurisdiction. So that's the first hurdle. Second hurdle is we don't really know how tokenized security will be classified or regulated. And so that's been a break to the adoption of tokenization because people are in a wait-and-see mode. The second challenge, and is the more interesting challenge, is infrastructure readiness. And here I think for big players, it will take time to go into tokenization because from a proof of concept to full-scale deployment of the tokenization is going to take a long time. And so it's why we develop Laplace Digital, because we think that new entrants can really displace incumbents. Why? Simply because when you have a disruption in technology, the new entrant, they don't have the liability of the old system. They don't face the hurdle of operational integration of the new system. And so new entrant can start from scratch and may have a first mover advantage into this market rather compared to established players. And the answer to me is absolutely. Again, Tokenization addresses key structural limitations such as settlement, delayed in settlement, accessibility, and transparency. So I think a DTL protocol, or the fact that you can tokenize an asset, you can move it on chain, and you don't need to have a central authority to control these assets, it's a key revolution. And for me, it's inevitable that tokenization will be the next step forward for financial and real asset products that have to be sold through a vast pool of investors. So at Namara, we want to collaborate with top-tier players. We spend a lot of time talking to various players here in Singapore, but also abroad. And we have selected a couple of players. For example, the first product we're going to tokenize are going to be tokenized on the Polygon chain. In terms of custody, in terms of counterparty risk, and also technology. For example, I can say that we work with Tokeny to tokenize our products. So we selected a host of top players to create the best possible infrastructure with the least counterparty risks. And we keep in-house all the KYC of clients, the KYT, of course, to comply with the MAS rules and regulations. And we think that today the real industry is in its infancy. So nobody really knows who's going to be the top player in the next 5 years, let's say. But some key players are starting to emerge, and we want to tag along with those key players and use their technology to really have a state-of-the-art technology platform for our clients. First and foremost, I'm delighted to be back at FI and FX conference. I've been a speaker many years ago. I'm always very happy to be at this conference, and I would say the two key things for me are first of all the quality of the people I saw on stage this morning. I learned a few things from JP Morgan ETF to technology or electronification of trading, for example. So very comprehensive conference, and also the crowd is very rich, and I had a lot of interaction with the people.